Hi, welcome to Hive Virtual Edition. My name is Lori. Today we're going to make an e-reader case. This vinyl case that we're making is so inexpensive that you'll want to make one for each of your devices at home. I started out by buying some vinyl fabric from a fabric store. The vinyl fabric is only $8 a meter, and I purchased 1/4 of a meter. So you can tell the price of this project is really very, very low. In addition, you'll need some cotton batting to put inside, a sewing machine, some heavy cardboard, and that's about it. I used old clipboards that I had available. I got out a jigsaw and cut them to the shape I would need for my e-reader. Regular hard cardboard will work just as well. I'll share with you a couple of tips that I learned in making this project. Number one is make sure you use the same fabric for the inside of your e-reader as the outside. I tried to use a different fabric inside, and when you make your stitches and then top stitch around the outside edge, if your stitching is not perfect, it really shows up when you have a different color inside. In addition, I made very sharp right angles for my corners of the e-reader cover. And if I were to do it again, I would curve the corners to match those of the actual e-reader, as the sharp corners that I made are a little bit loosened. I cut the clipboard pieces just 1/4 of an inch larger than my e-reader. Now I place the clipboard pieces onto the leather fabric. I'm going to leave 1/2 an inch at the bottom and top, and I'm going to leave 3/4 of an inch on the outside edges and a full inch between the two pieces. This will allow enough space for the seam as well as some top stitching on top of the project once we've sewn it together. Place your fabric right sides together and the cotton batting on the outside. It's important that your pieces are very square. Make sure you use some kind of grid to cut your fabric. Prepare your fabric for the sewing machine. We're going to sew around the entire outside edge, leaving the bottom open to slide the cardboard in. You'll notice that this sewing is done with 2 different colors, the vinyl on the outside and black denim on the inside. This didn't work very well, so on my next attempt, I sewed 2 pieces of the vinyl together, not using any other color fabric. Turn your work inside out, cutting extra batting out of each corner to make them more of a sharp edge. I'm now preparing to do a top stitch around the whole outside edge, as well as 2 stitches measured down the center to make the spine. Make sure to measure carefully so that your spine is equal distance from each outside edge. It's time to slide our cardboard back inside and prepare to stitch the bottom using just the top stitch that we did on all 3 other sides. Top stitching the bottom edge is a little bit tricky because you have your hard cardboard inside, and it can be a little difficult to get through this thickness with that cardboard so close to the edge. I think using a zipper foot on your machine would help with this stitching line. Now it's time to put some elastic in each of the 4 corners to secure the e-reader into the case. Again, measuring is important so that all 4 corners look exactly the same. You'll want to use an amount of elastic that pulls somewhat tightly without being overstretched. I simply attach the elastic by stitching on the top stitching line that's already on the case in all 4 corners. And here's the finished product. I may actually use my Cricut machine and do some additional decorating on the cover.